Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, I want to talk about the different types of ways you can have a business. The first one is what you might call you're self-employed, or you go into business for yourself. In the strict sense of the word, that is a sole proprietorship, means a business by one person. A sole proprietorship can also mean just a single business owner, and then that entity or that business has become incorporated. But if you're talking about John Jones, DBA Jones Painting, that means John Jones is doing business as Jones Painting. He's using the word Jones Painting for his business, but it's really just him. While he may use that name for marketing purposes, and in certain states you can register a name without it being a formal company, meaning a separate an entity or a thing all by itself. So John Jones or Joe Jones DBA, or doing business as Jones Painting, is just John Jones. That means John Jones is going to personally be the one signing contracts. He's going to personally be the one who has to do the contracts. If he has employees, then taxes and things are going to go under his social security number. If there is insurance, he is going to be the one who is insured. If there is a claim against the company, he is the one who's going to be sued. So that is a sole proprietorship. The next step up from that is a partnership. A partnership is usually two people, but it can be more than two people. And that means that now it's John Jones and Mary Smith are going to be partners. That is the two of them doing this together. Again, now they're sharing all of those responsibilities. It can be a separate entity. You can have a formal general partnership filed with the Secretary of State, but you can just be in partnership with another person, meaning you're going to do this business together. Maybe they're going to have some type of a store and they own it together. And in the strict sense of the word, the partnership means the two people involved are going to share in the profits and share in the liabilities, meaning they're equally responsible for their half. That's a partnership. Now, the next level up is when you are going to be more formal and you file with the Secretary of State. In each state has that office, and that's where you file the formal papers to create a separate legal entity. Now, the legal entity can be what I just mentioned, which is a general partnership. It can be a limited partnership. It can be a corporation, and there are different types of corporations and different rules that apply. Or it can be a limited liability partnership, or it can be a limited liability company. Those are all distinct, different types of legal entities. The main reason, and this is very basic, the main reason that you would want to have one of those official legal entities is because it's now one step removed from the person. So if John Jones, he can be in certain states, he can be the sole owner of a corporation or of a limited liability company. You would need two people to have ownership of a partnership, a general partnership or a limited partnership. And so if you're one person, then you have your certain categories, and if there's more than one person, you have other categories available to you. And when I say it's one step up from the person, it means there is a separation between the person who owns the company and the company itself. Now, if something is done through the company, as long as the formalities are recognized, if there's a claim or something against the company, it's against the company. It's not against you, the person. And that's the number one reason to formally form a separate entity, is for the liability. and it's liability in a whole host of things. Because if you are sued for something, then your assets can be looked at to satisfy that judgment. And I talk about that in another video on what happens if a judgment is not paid. So if you are going to go into business and you have a family and you own a house and you own a car and you have some bank accounts and things, you don't want those to be subject to business debts if something happens in the business. You want to protect your family and protect yourself. And so that's the main reason, the first reason, to form the separate entity. Nobody makes you do it. It's not a requirement. You can start out in a business and try it on your own before you get bigger and form another entity. I mean, it's you know, we're living in a free country. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just trying to identify for you why you would have a separate legal entity. You might think it's just me, it doesn't matter. Well, it depends upon the dollar value of what your business is, the risk and the exposure that you might have, and the assets that you might not want someone to try to take. So this is very, very basic, and I'm going to go into each different category separately on a different video and get more in depth into each of those. But this was just the introductory video. I hope it helped you with some concepts, and leave me a comment if you have any questions. If you know someone who's considering whether or not they're going to go into business and how they might want to do it, you might want to share it with them. And as always, the best way to learn about our new videos is to subscribe. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.